Hey there everyone, welcome to another video about Neo Monsters. This is the Armageddon Tournament Week 2, and the battles that we're looking at in this video are my battles against LDN Alazan. Now if you watched my last two PvP videos, one of them was me facing Exu in the final battle of the Berettas Argval tournament, and then the other one was me facing Chown in the first battle of this tournament. I did those both at the same time, the commentary of those videos, and I realise in hindsight that I talked very quickly, and in fact, when doing commentary for this just now, I talked very quickly. I'm going to try and talk a bit slower. Sorry if I was hard to follow when talking quickly in those videos. Anyway, so this battle, it's from week 2 in the Group A. It's my group here, and me facing Alazan. Unfortunately, Alazan was really difficult to communicate with. He is Spanish, and I tried to talk in Spanish using a translator with him just to make things easier. But anyway, we ended up only doing 2 of the 3 battles. And from those battles as well, I did not contact him and try to get a screenshot of his teams. So we can only look through my teams. However, you get to see his teams in the battle, so it's not a huge difference. And I can talk a little bit at the beginning about what kind of team he's got. So going into the first battle, we have the same special rules that we have for all those weeks. The first special rules is 173 cost team. You've got to have secret skills on, all the legendaries and mythics that you have in their final form. You can have no low cost monsters and no Kane Shogun. Taking a look at my team, I went for a stun counter team. I thought it'd be a bit of fun, you know, I'd try and mix things up and do things differently. So we've got some stun counter stuff at the front, a lot of that stuff going on. And then we've got some stun going into the mid game. Then we've got a bit of poison, and then finally we've got Catmander and the Abyss Soldier with Retribution, plus some auto protects. I also wanted to include more monsters in my team for 173 cost. It's quite difficult to fit in 16 monsters, especially when we've got to have the secret skills on. So I put in some low cost protectors at the back, so I had 15 monsters. And a couple of things to say about this team. The Zephyrus Mythic that I've got in there, it's normally quite bad in second form. It's very much about this move Natural Selection, which hits things that are lower quality. So when it's a mythic, it can one-shot all the legendaries. However, when it's 6 stars, it can only do it on super epics and below. However, because this is 173 cost, I thought, if anywhere, this is the place to use it, because chances are there's going to be quite a few super epics around. So I decided to use it in there, and it has got Purify, Champion Entrance, Protector Killer, so there's some good stuff there, even if I can't Natural Selection. Also a Time Strike, which I kind of wanted the Time Strike in there for anything with the Camouflage and Stun Absorber. I tend to run into those and get messed up by them when I want to stun the enemy team, and I've got like Time Strike double or whatever. Time Strike is you know, obviously more reliable for dealing with that kind of stuff. I've also got the Zephyrin first form in there, which if you don't know it, it is a high speed, high defense, surprisingly tanky monster that has stunning entrance and stun burst. I recently got this and I wanted to try it out. I'll probably be using it in quite a few teams from now on because it's a bit overpowered for the 5 cost. But anyway, so we got that in there, and then I'm not going to go through any of the other monsters. You can see pretty much what we've got going on there. Now, the team which Alazan is using is basically Dusikian plus Auto Protect spam, and he's got a couple of sweepers in there. I say the sweepers, but Angel Lion is kind of not really so much a sweeper when you've got protectors going on. But he's got Angel Lion in there for the stun protection. It's got Catmander as the other sweeper. Catmander is great with protectors. As you can see at the back of my team, I went with Catmander plus protectors because he's so fast, or she, I don't know, it's a cat. It does so fast sweeping once it gets going, and it can do that sweeping with protectors, which a lot of fast sweepers nowadays, they have raw moves, and they get stopped by that. But anyway, let's have a look at the battle. So we start off, and Catmander has a turn because it's the fastest one out there. It can do its cat zone, and then Light Bane on Angel Lion is basically the obvious thing to do here. It's the only target it's got, and removing my heaviest stun protection. Plus, you know, Angel Lion's always good to kill first because it's got Retribution. So if you kill anything else, you're in bad shape. Now I skip with Glaceron because there's not really there's not a good target for me here, and if I'm forced to use a move, which I figure he's just going to skip back, he doesn't, so I'm not actually forced to use a move. However, looking at what I want to do here, my plan is to Protector Killer Sherloid and then do the fast strike on Angel Lion. I'm not going to be hitting the Dusikian before it gets a turn, so I may as well chance it here and try and hit the instant Toxic Killer to get Desikin's health below 100%. It doesn't work, so I just skip. I use the Protected Killer on Sherloid. I tried to do the Fast Strike on Angel Lion, but really annoyingly, it gets protected. Now, in hindsight, I really should have gone for the Chrono Killer on Angel Lion too. I know I've got stun coming in. I really need to get rid of that Angel Lion, and in fact, he's quite open to stun. I didn't look at the time and realise quite how open he is to stun. Actually, maybe I did, but I just didn't. I didn't think, actually, if I do the Chrono Killer and the Fast Strike, chances are I will be able to take down the Angel Lion. But anyway, I'm not going to go on about it too much. It's just something I should have done, because as you can see, it's absorbing all my stun right now, and unfortunately that's all been wasted. So he can't Retribution again because, you can't Retribution again, but he can't do the Raw Blood Fury because he's got the Protectors there, so he just skips with Angel Lion. Does the Nico Punch. Krillin tanks because it's surprisingly tanky. At this point, I do try to do the Chrono Killer around Sanctus Stag. Unfortunately, it doesn't hit Angel Lion. It hits the Sanctus Stag again. So he does the Swift 10 Death Sentence, tries to do the Sleep Ball. It hits 3 of my monsters. Oh my god, that is never good. But ironically, the next monster of mine to get a turn has Purify. So that's incredibly lucky on my part, considering he was incredibly lucky with his Sleep Ball. Now, Angel Lion still isn't charged, but Catmander's Nico finisher is, because he's been able to do the different moves on the monster. So he puts Dracorosa down to 1 HP, and I look at my next few monsters here because I'm thinking, I need to get back in this game here, and I think probably my next monsters have a better chance of doing that. Dracorosa just really can't at this point, so I decide to actually kill off my own Dracorosa. Now, Alazan does something pretty clever here, and I see it a lot from people with Angel Lion when they use Protectors. They use Soul Exchange on one of their Protectors to both charge the Retribution and also charge the Raw Blood Fury if they've removed their last Protector or that kind of thing. So now I have to face with the Dracorosa on his side, which I did not anticipate, and now I've got my poison coming out. So things are really not looking good for me in terms of things lining up. So at this point, I can't really do a whole lot with Aviazer, so I just use Protector Killer on Dracorosa or Houdinoid. Yeah, I choose Houdinoid. I've got the dual give turn here, and really annoyingly, all my monsters are about to get a turn, so it's not the ideal time to dual give turn, but I can't really do anything else here. I need to take down that Dracorosa, so I'm trying to work out what's the best way to do it. Well, I've got to give turn to this Abyss Solar, do the dual Poison Touch to get rid of the shield, and also that will deal with the whole ground. And then I've got to try and chance a Fast Strike around the Protector to hit Dracorosa. I look at my next monsters as well, just to kind of work out what's going to be going on, and work out my next few turns. Unfortunately, the Fast Strike does not go round the Protector. I got really unlucky with Protectors in this, just at all the wrong times them protecting. So he's able to do the defang, kill 2 of my monsters, stuff comes in, he can Nico finish anything he likes again. My Tigron's not going to get a turn for a while, Blossomite can't do a lot, Aviazer can't do a lot, so the best choice here is definitely the Abyss Solar Breaker. With its Retribution and high stats, Nico Finisher does a lot of damage, so it's a good opportunity to take down something like the Abyss Solar Breaker, so he goes for that. Then we've got another Confident Strike, not full charge, but yeah, he's scared of my Catmander. He clearly knows the power of Catmander because he's using it himself, and hits it down onto low health, as well as getting rid of the stealth there. I was going to call it camouflage. So unfortunately, Light Bane gets protected, but to be honest, not really a whole lot I can do here. So I look at this and I'm just like, nah, you know what? I've got Protectors coming in next. He's got Ice Fang coming in next. Everything's just going to line up for him. Let's just give up. So that was really, really poor battle for me right there. It could have gone a lot better if I'd taken down the Angel Lion at the beginning. My stun definitely would have helped have a bit of control there at the beginning. Maybe if I could have taken down the Desikin shortly after that, we could have got into that game. But the way things lined up, it just went absolutely terribly for me. Alazan did a good job as well of maintaining control. So going into the second battle, we have the special rules, which we have for all the other weeks. However, for this week, it is fire that is excluded. So we can't have any fire on our team, and we've got to put 2 elements. The 2 elements I chose were Storm and Earth. I went very much for a Link Storm team and just a few Earth monsters. I've only got 3 Earth monsters. In fact, 2 of them are solo monsters there. So this team is a little bit wacky. There's stuff which definitely works, and there's stuff which is a big gamble. So the big gamble is at the beginning, I decided to go with 1-on-1 from Strike, along with the 250-second solo Mega Bomb from the Abyss Soldier, and the 257-second Link Mega Bomb from Don Dolguini. Now, Don Dolguini is tanky and got hold ground, and Abyss Soldier Bulwark, I think it's called, or Bullock, or I can't remember exactly how to say it. But yeah, that is super tanky. It doesn't have hold ground, but anyway, those 2 monsters, if I can get them in the field and have the 1-on-1, and time passes, everything goes to plan, they will hopefully devastate the enemy team, and if there's enough stun, then my Bulby Boom will go off and explode on him. Before then, I've got my other stuff. So, why have I got Black Titan in the front line? The plan is, well, I'm scared of Sherloid, because when it comes to the Link teams, a really obvious choice to make is to pick Holy. And if you pick Holy, chances are you're going to be using Sherloid, because Sherloid's one of the best Holy monsters right now for the team cost. So I was scared of the Sherloid, and it counters 1-on-1, so I thought, okay, I'll put Black Titan in there, because if there is no Sherloid, I can just simply retreat immediately, bring in the Don Dolguini, and everything's good. I just do the 1-on-1. If there is Sherloid, though, I can use the true hit on Sherloid, take it out before doing the 1-on-1, and my Don Dolguini's not in there, but hopefully, he'll kill off something, or just otherwise, it better than getting countered completely. So that was my plan at the beginning there, trying to realistically go with the gamble to do the 1-on-1, and really hope it's going to come together. When we look further back in my team, I've got a bit of stun protection going on. Before then, the Penguinator, which is always lovely in Link Storm team. Having the Link double retribution is brilliant. And then I've kind of tried to do this quite cleverly, having the Chrome before all my stun, so that if there's any Chrono Killer, like, if we come across Angel Lion, which, like I said, Holy is likely. If you're using Holy, you're probably going to use Angel Lion, so I can take that out with my Chrono Killer from Chrome. Before then, also, if there's anything which I need to get rid of for the sake of opening them up to stun, I can maybe line that up for my Floccotosaurus coming in and taking out things with its entrance. As well as also the entrance control from Floccotosaurus, because if you look at my next few monsters, I've got huge entrance control. So there's the tactical retreat from Floccotosaurus to pull back at any point. The Quillin that's about to come in, that has stunning entrance, it's got the stun burst, so it removes itself. Then Zeusworm comes in, that's got exit plan, so I can exit plan. Mowing comes in, that stuns the enemy team again. I can then do blowback to pull that out, to then bring in Centurion, which stuns the enemy team. And that really just lines up to just crazily take over the game if it works. So if they're open to stun, I can chain those together and have that just, take things over. That's my general plan, and I would say from playing Storm quite a bit, that this kind of thing, kind of Storm stuff, does work very effectively when you set it up and it, you don't have the big gamble beforehand. However, I've got a very big gamble at the front here with my 1-on-1, which I just have to hope it doesn't get counted. So I'm not going to spoil what Alazan's using. We're just going to jump straight into the match from here. So what is Alazan using? Well, he's got Disikian plus Ultra Protect spam, which is just horrible to face again. However, more than that, he has a full camouflage team, which means my 1-on-1 is just useless. There's no point in using 1-on-1 here. So looking at this, I try and work out what I can do, and I think, okay, first of all, I need to get rid of that Disikian, because that's going to mess me up more than anything else. I anticipate here it's going to be Auto Protect spam, because he's got Emeraudius and Widowworm, which it's so typical to have these with Auto Protect spam. Now, luckily that true hit puts Disikian down to hold ground, so I can take it down with the double survivor. Everything kind of working out there in some way. Trying to work out what I can do next before he starts taking over this match. Well, I can Counter-Strike something. I don't know what I go with here. I go for Emeraudius. It gets blocked by Sherloid though. The one monster it's not going to do critical against. Then we get a turn with the Abyss Soldier, and this is quite funny because I anticipated this because I tested this team before I did any battle, or this battle, sorry. And because I've still got the Black Titan in here, I can't solo Life Flip enemy, and obviously I can't Mega Bomb at this point, so the only move I can use is Life Flip Friend, because Ultra Bash will just miss them both. Life Flip Friend I do not want to use right now, so I have to just pass time. And I always feel a little bit guilty about passing time because, you know, it's wasting 30 seconds and they might be annoyed that it's kind of a bit of a cheeky cheat kind of thing. Anyway, he does the Swift to Death Sentence here before the Sleep Pool. And obvious choices I would say would be the Abyss Soldier and Stratostrike. However, for some reason he targets Black Titan rather than Stratostrike. He then does the Sleep Pool, Stratostrike goes to sleep, so it would have been perfect to keep that Stratostrike out of play, or to kill it off before it wakes up. He actually even just kills the Black Titan at this point, so a bit of a misplay on his part there that I think could have really changed the battle in the end. Anyway, so I purified at this point. I can't come back into the game with these monsters, especially because my own gravity field means Saberzor can't hit and run or anything. But anyway, he's got the sweeper set up with Emeraudius. The one saving grace for me here is that he doesn't have a huge amount of damage potential. Sherloid can't do any damage. Sanctistag can't do any damage. Willow-Worm is needing a lot of time to pass before it can do damage. So the only thing he can really do damage with is the Emeraudius. Which means while he has control and while my team is useless right now, he's not actually going to kill his way through my team too quickly. So I just have to try and pass time here. I'm trying to work out, is it worth trying to go for Emeraudius? And it is, because I somehow managed to bypass 2 protectors to get the Life Flip enemy on Emeraudius. It's not a whole lot I can do with Don Dolguini, so I just shield something. And now from here on I try and crescendo strike the Emeraudius. But of course things just keep getting blocked. There's no way I can get past 2 protectors again. It's not going to be that kind to me. He could kill anything he wants at this point, and Leah Wraith is a pretty good choice, but also the Don Dolguini is going to mess him up with the shields potentially, and also the Purify. So he decides to use the Blood Fury, do a quick skip, hit all, kill the Don Dolguini and remove both his shields. Very nicely lined up there. Now he chances the Sleep Ball again. We'll just see what he manages to sleep. Both the Stratostrike and the Abyss Soldier, so that's definitely taking them out of play. And if he'd done the Twin Death Sentence, they would both be dying off before they get another turn. So the Abyss Soldier dies off here. Stratostrike should be dying off if he targeted that, but he hasn't. Now it comes to my Tigron's turn. I'm looking at this Stun Killer and thinking, okay, I want to line this up so I can actually fast strike Stratostrike. Sorry, not Stratostrike, Sanctistag. So the Stun Killer lines me up quite nicely. I tried to kill the Emeraudius with it. Unfortunately, it didn't work. And he takes out my Penguinator before it gets a turn. Chroma comes in. Go for the Bloodthirst on Sherloid. Just trying to take out that Sherloid because it's being a real nuisance. And now I can fast strike the Willow-Worm. I'm looking and I'm thinking, okay, I really need to take down the Willow-Worm because of the stun coming in. But even if it didn't hit Willow-Worm, it would have hit either Sanctistag or Sherloid, and any one of them would have died. So that's actually quite nicely lined up for me there. Now if he kills anything, Flocculosaurus is going to come in and take out both the Emeraudius and Sherloid, which is pretty nice for trying to help me get back into this game. He's probably going to kill Leah Wraith or Chroma, and he kills Chroma here. So Flocculosaurus comes in, Willow-Worm nearly dies as well. And I try and take down that Willow-Worm because I really need the stun to be going on his team. Even though there's not actually much I can stun here, I do need it out of the way. So I try and hit it again. Unfortunately, protected again. So much protecting going on in these matches. Finishing snap, I try and do on the Willow-Worm. It gets blocked, unfortunately. I mean, like I said, not a huge lot of point opening up to stun at this point, but it's probably my only way to make a comeback. So that's why I'm trying to do it. He could kill anything he wants here with Exhausting Sleep, but it's kind of more tempting to go for the Sleep Killer on Stratostrike, bring that down, because then he can take it out quite nicely with Flocculosaurus. The Sleep Killer as well is only 70 seconds, so good choice there. He can now Swift Dual Catapult anything he likes, and Leah Wraith is probably a good choice here. Flocculosaurus too, the 2 monsters that are about to get a turn, seems like a smart choice. So his Willow-Worm gets stunned out of play. Now I've really got to stop this Flocculosaurus getting a turn because it's going to kill my Stratostrike. And I have to be pretty clever as well about my stun here because he's got the Stun Converter next in line. But anyway, I do the skip and because Flocculosaurus is going to get a turn in 1 second, what I can actually do here with the dual give turn is give turn to the Stratostrike, use the second wind, and Stratostrike does not get put behind Flocculosaurus, which is really nice to then line up moves for this. So what I'm looking at here is like, okay, how can I make the biggest impact to his team? I need to take down Flocculosaurus and Megasloth. If I hit all and then follow up with a double survivor, I can take down both those monsters. Now here, it's a bit of an odd choice. So I've got stun coming in, and he's got a stun converter there. He's also got the stun counter next. I think, okay, if stun's going to make any impact now, it's probably better to do it now rather than later, as well as the Dreamy entrance from Malwing may give me a chance to come back in this game. So I use the exit plan, and the Dreamy entrance hits Ultima Dragon, which is actually really nice, because if you look at the field right now, Willoworm is completely out of play. Ultima Dragon is asleep, so that's out of play. He's actually only got 2 monsters which he can fight with. Now, if I were him at this point, I would probably hit and kill something, like Malwing maybe, but for some reason he decides to skip. I'm not entirely sure why he chooses to do that. He would have got a free extra turn with Valzerain, but maybe he was scared about the Counter-Strike killing his Bahamazar before I got a turn from my Centaurian. Anyway, so he did the skip. He's got to throw on something, but actually he hasn't created any rocks at the back of his team, so he obviously had one thing to remove, but he doesn't have anything more. So he uses the Ultra Quake, and this is now even better for me. So the Ultima Dragon's asleep, the Widowworm's out of play, Bahamazar is now out of play too, so he's actually only got 1 monster to fight with. And I've got pretty much my whole team here. So from this really hard countered start, by removing things out of play on his side of the field, and him bringing in monsters of mine which can actually fight, I've actually got a real chance here of turning things around. So I use exit plan again because I need to try and line up the stun here. I remove his stun protection, hope that there's something stunnable, and sure enough there is. There's an Oak Thulu, so I'm able to use the Link stun flash, hit that out of play. He's now still only got 1 monster in play, which is the Dracorosa. And I'm trying to think here, is it better to protect or Purifying Mist? Because what I really want is to save my Tigeron here. However, if I do the protect, it doesn't really save it because he can just defang. So I reckon probably what's better is just stealthing my team. So I use Purifying Mist. He's now got the tricky choice. Does he kill Tigeron now, or does he bring my Stratostrike to 1 HP? Killing Tigeron now is probably the worst choice, because if he's going to try and make a comeback, he probably wants stun to be in my team for his Scorpio Geist to get the potential extra turns. So what he decides to do is to Counter-Strike my Stratostrike and bring it down to 1 HP. Which I thought he would have done by now, but he hasn't yet. It's a tricky choice. He's got to decide what to do. So yeah, he brings my Stratostrike down. Now I really do not want to bring in the Scorpio Geist unless things have lined up properly. So I carefully do not kill off anything at this point. Took a second there to work out what I wanted to do. I'm just going to stun kill Oak Thulu. It won't bring it to whole ground, but that's fine. And now Stratostrike is my ticket to killing Scorpio Geist. So I use the Desperate Double to bring it in. And I know that it's going to line up, that I can now kill it with Double Survivor. You can probably see I'm gonna win this battle. We're about to finish the video in a few seconds. I hope you enjoyed this. This were the 2 matches I had with Alazan. Quite interesting ones. Got especially hard countered in the second one, but somehow managed to make a comeback. I really enjoyed that. And in the first battle, things just lined up pretty terribly. My play was not perfect either. But yeah, great win for Alazan there. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you will watch the next one, the next and final video that I'll be bringing about this tournament. Thanks very much for watching.